Hello? Hello, I'm back. Did you miss me? Because I missed you. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I do the dip powder gel method on my long natural nails using my non-dominant hand. This was filmed ages ago. Long story short, I lost the footage. I thought I'd lost it forever. Plot twist, I'm not a quitter, so I was able to recover it. And then my editing software decided to play games with me, and everything that could go wrong went wrong. But fear not, I am back with another video, and it is packed with more tips and tricks for you. If you're new to my channel and unfamiliar with the dip powder gel method, I will link this video for you in the description box below, which goes a bit more in depth as to what it is, why I do it, and how. Okay, let's get into today's video. So I'm still working with my long natural nails and my nail growth is pretty impressive if I do say so myself. I first have to remove the old gel polish. I did my thumb off camera to kind of map out my look, but in typical indecisive me fashion, it went out the window and I ended up going with a completely different color combination. I'll be using a fine carbide safety bit to remove the top layer of my gel polish, and as always, I'm doing this over my dust collector. When I'm operating the e-file with my left hand, naturally it takes me a little bit longer to remove the product, so I sped through this portion. I'll be using acetone to soak off the rest of the gel product on my nails, but first, I'm moisturizing the skin around my nails using my honey lemon salve to ensure that the acetone doesn't dry my nails and cuticles out too much. I apply my acetone-soaked nail wraps and leave them on for about 5 minutes. Check on them, and if need be, I soak them for an additional 5 minutes. And by then, the gel should be completely soaked off. Most of the time, it stays stuck in my nail wrap when I pull my nail out. Next, I gently buff the surface of my nails to smooth them out and remove any little bits of stubborn gel left behind. I find holding the buffing block with my left hand and kind of letting my right hand do the work makes it a lot easier. I'm wiping the excess dust off my nails with a little bit of alcohol on a lint-free wipe, and I'm examining my nails to see what I'm working with. It looks like my index finger isn't in the best shape. I've got a couple cracks forming from my adventures at the lake. That's how old this video is. So I'm making a mental note that I'll be needing some extra reinforcement. Moving on to cuticle cleanup, I'm using my Blue Cross cuticle remover, which has quickly become my favorite cuticle remover of all time, and I'm letting it sit for a few minutes before pushing back my cuticles and scraping away the dead skin with a wooden stick. I've been a lot more mindful when it comes to the cuticle cleanup throughout my nail growth journey, and I think it's really paid off. I'm wiping my nails again with a little bit of alcohol on a lint-free wipe, and then I'm using a nail brush to brush off the excess dead skin before gently trimming off any hangy bits using my Cuticle Nippers. Just to make sure the cuticle area is nice and clean and ready for product, I'm using my glass cuticle pusher tool to buff away any last little bits that I may have missed. Using a glass cuticle pusher is amazing in preventing future lifting around the cuticle area. That's usually where lifting starts if prep isn't done thoroughly. Next, I'm wiping any excess oil from my nails using my CND Nail Surface Cleanser. Moving on to applying prep products, as always, I'm applying my dehydrator followed by my acid-free primer. I find dip powder hella annoying to remove, so I'll also be applying a peel-off base coat to make the removal process easier. This one works best out of all the ones that I've tried. Next, I'm applying my base. I will be using the Kiara Sky base coat, but if you have the Gelish one in your collection, based on my past recommendations, no pun intended, you can use that one. I was completely out of frame applying it to my pinky finger, so just pretend that you saw that. I always feel like it's worth mentioning in case there are new viewers here. My natural nails curl inward on the sides when I apply product to them and cure, so I always like to place a metal nail rod under my nail while I cure them to force the sides to cure straight and lock into place. I'm using my Gelish Touch LED light to flash cure each nail, and then I do a 45-second cure in my regular LED lamp. I'm wiping the sticky layer off my nails and moving on to doing a little bit of filing and shaping with a 180 grit file. When I have long natural nails, I prefer doing the filing and shaping after I apply my base coat because it gives my nails a little bit more strength, so they're not as flimsy and I'm less likely to overfile them. So like I said, today I'm doing the dip powder gel method again, and I'm using my Kiara Sky dip and all-in-one powders as well as their base and builder gels. Again, if you're new to the dip powder gel method, I would highly recommend watching my previous more in-depth videos. But basically, to sum it up, I have a reaction to the liquids that come in traditional dip powder systems. So I've replaced the liquids that come in those systems with gel, which gives me the same result minus the reaction. Remember when I mentioned earlier that I was trying to come up with a look for today and I did my right thumb off camera and then I ended up doing a completely different look? Well, I did my left thumb off camera and I liked it better, so let me show you how I did it. None of my dip powder shades were quite what I was looking for, and the fun thing about dip powder is that you can mix it to custom create whatever shade and opacity you want. This video was filmed forever ago, so I will try to retrace my steps and put the shades that I used up on the screen. I think I did a little bit of medium pink mixed with Chit Chat, and then I added a little bit of light pink, and then I added a little bit of clear to sheer it out. And lastly, I think I added some spring showers to make it a bit more cool toned. Again, it'll be up on the screen, but I mixed it all up and this is what I ended up with. For my base, I'll be using the Kiara Sky base coat, and for the nails that have cracks in them, I'll be using the Kiara Sky Builder because it provides my nail with a little bit more strength. The base coat is replacing the base step in the normal dip powder system, and the base step in the normal dip powder system is more like a glue, whereas the base coat is gel, therefore requires curing. So I'm applying a thin coat of my base coat, and then I sprinkle on the dip powder all over the whole nail with the paddle side of my cuticle pusher tool. I tap off the excess and I pop it into my LED lamp for a 45-second cure. Once it's cured, I dust off the excess dip powder with my nail brush and I apply my second layer of base coat and follow the same steps, and then I move on to the next nail. Okay, so now we're getting to my index finger, which was riddled with cracks. So I'll be using my builder gel as a base because it's thicker and it will prevent my cracks from getting worse. If you have cracks, it's important to apply a builder to the free edge as well, because that's where the crack starts. And if you don't seal it, it will eventually end up snagging on things and continue to get bigger and bigger despite applying dip powder to the rest of the nail. I hope that makes sense. So again, I'm applying a coat of builder and then dip powder, and then I'm curing for 45 seconds. Then I'm applying a second coat of builder, dip powder, and curing for another 45 seconds. And now it's time to apply a layer of clear dip powder to encapsulate the nail so that when we move on to filing and shaping, we don't file off our custom base shade. Moving on to filing and shaping, I'm first buffing the surface of my nails using my buffing block. I like to do this first to smooth out the surface of the nails because the dip powder leaves a really gritty and rough feeling behind. I then switch over to a 180 grit file to shape the nails. I normally like to do this over a dust collector as well, but I was being lazy here. Don't be lazy like me and plug the damn thing in and use a dust collector. I also used an e-file and a sanding band to smooth out the area around my cuticle so that it's not too bulky from all the layers of base and dip. Doing this makes it look much more natural in the moment, but it also looks a lot more natural as the nails grow out. A thick cuticle area can lead to lifting, which can lead to hair snagging in it, so it's important not only to do really great prep, but to also keep the cuticle area nice and thin. When I'm happy with the shape, I just wipe the nails clean with a little bit of alcohol on a lint-free wipe. I redid my thumb to match the rest of my nails off camera, and at this point, if you like the look as is, you can finish off with just a little bit of top coat. This is what that would look like, just a really pretty, sheer, milky, pinky white. I've been wanting to use this topper that I found on Amazon for a while, so that's what I'll be doing. I love this topper because it looks different depending on what shade you apply it over. Here's a side-by-side of the look that I went with versus what I had on when I was practicing. It looks a lot warmer on the right, and it even looks pretty on its own, just like over a clear base. Anyway, I'm applying a thin coat of that to each nail, and I'm curing it in my LED lamp for 45 seconds. And then I finish off with a thin coat of top coat. I've really been liking this crystal top by In.Hype. You would think by the time I'm done applying all these layers to my nails, they would look bulky and chunky, but they really don't. The key is to apply thin coats of each step and taking your time with shaping the sides and the surface. So once I'm done, I cure the top coat for 45 seconds and then I just finish off with my cuticle oil. So I probably could have continued growing my natural nails out for another month, but if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that I was really itching to make a focaccia and bury my short natural nails in dough again. So I posted a poll and the majority voted, make the damn focaccia, your nails will always grow back. So I cut them off and I've been enjoying short nails since. In case you're wondering, yes, I made the focaccia and yes, it was glorious. I love having long nails, but I also absolutely love having short naked nails and doing whatever the hell I want with them. Chris took these close-ups and was very proud of himself, so I had to share them with you guys. Fantastic work. Thank you, Chris. Anyway, that completes today's video. Everything that I use will be listed in the description box below. As always, thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing and staying subscribed and being patient with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, love you, bye.